Yeah?
You don't look it.
Oh, no? Oh, all right. Well, maybe I'm like my mom. She lived to be 96. I'm sorry, 92. And she was well until about the last week. She got a little heavy after 65, because when I was a kid, she was quite thin.
She live here?
No, I've only been in Pennsylvania for about 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Where were you before that?
Long Island, New York.
Oh, wow.
Know where that is.
Now, Long Island's a great place, but the tax is terrible.
Yeah.
And it's crowded.
Yes, and I left 9 years ago. When I was 64 and retired. We went down to North Carolina because one of our sons was there. We have two.
Where?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I have a son living there now.
Oh, all right.
My middle son. This is my youngest son.
Oh, okay.
My name is Dick Ruth.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Bethlehem. Graduated from Moravian College.
Okay.
And this is my youngest son, Douglas.
Hello.
Pleased to meet you, gentlemen.
Pleased to meet you, sir. Now,
My pleasure.
Can you answer me? Is any of this still in production, or is it all shut down?
Oh no, this all shut down in 90. It started to go downhill in the 80s.
Yeah.
In the late 80s, and finally closed completely in 95.
Bankruptcy.
I guess so. One of the things, I've been here on this spot a couple of years, and one of the things I've learned is that they claim that they never did anything to upgrade.
What are you guarding? Are you guarding the casino? Or?
No, not exactly. The casino is down there by the crane.
Okay.
And this is casino property too.
Okay.
But they have donated some of this to that building that's going up there. Now, there's a thing around here called Arts Quest. And Arts Quest puts on a big show once a year for about 10 days. And they have all kinds of entertainers coming to the area. And it attracts about 1 million people. So that is just finished. It was in August.
I see.
So they're building a building over there, and that's going to be one of the spots for next year's Arts Quest.
And let me ask you this: do they have, as far as you know, do they have any plans to preserve this from a historical?
I think so.
Good.
I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
Good.
Now, I've heard different stories. A few years back, they took a survey to see how much it would cost to clean it up and paint it.
Yeah.
It was about $8 million. Almost as much to tear it down.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
But I don't think, as you do, it's history.
Yeah, that's what I was just telling him about. Those I-beams there were made here to build the buildings in New York City.
Okay. Now, when you and I were born, I think you were born in 37.
37.
That's when they built Golden Gate Bridge, I believe.
In
California, San Francisco.
Yes, and they steel came from here.
Yeah.
Well, this was once, according to my father, the second largest steel producer in the world.
That is correct.
And helped win the Second World, the big war.
Absolutely. Now, on one of my visits last year to Long Island, I'm talking to a lady that I've known for a while. She's in her 50s. So she said, "What are you doing now? You're retired." I said, "Well, I'm down at on the Bethlehem Steel property, and they're building a casino." And she looked at me and I said, "Friend, Bethlehem Steel. Never heard of the place." I couldn't believe that. Couldn't believe that. I mean, I remember reading about Bethlehem Steel in grade school, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in the late 20s and in the 30s, they built those skyscrapers in New York, including the Empire State Building.
Yes, right.
And I think some of the steel for those skyscrapers in New York, it was manufactured here.
Okay.
But when they built the Martin Towers over in West Bethlehem, my father explained to me that it was cheaper at that time to buy steel in Venezuela and Japan than it was to make it here and ship it across town.
Oh, yes, okay.
So that
Martin Towers is just sitting there, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think so.
I passed it.
Yeah, I go by there on the way home. Yeah, it's just sitting there. I think somebody's supposed to be trying to do something about it. and renovated, I guess would make apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, would make. Yeah. Would make great apartments.
Well, that's one of the things down in, I was never too settled in Charlotte. That's one of the things down, we were there about 4 years. You wouldn't believe the number of homes and apartments that were going up that we saw built in the 4 years we were there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I wasn't quite too settled. I suppose it had to be with, when I was 64, I left the island and I left the street I was born on. Now that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, that is hard to do.
But Long Island tax is terrible. I'll give you an example. I don't want to hold you gentlemen up, but my wife says I need to work because she like to talk to people, but she said you got to remember they're busy, so don't hold them up.
We're tourists.
Yeah, so we're fine. We're
I
fine.
haven't been here in 20 years now.
Oh, really?
I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, yeah. Isn't that where the country music is?
Oh, yeah.
Nashville. Yeah,
sure.
Nashville. Yeah.
Okay.
Nashville, Chattanooga.
You like country music?
To a point.
To a point, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you were born out there?
I was born in Tennessee, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
My wife was from Allentown. She's departed this life now.
Oh. Oh, that's kind of sad for you.
5 years ago next month.
Oh,
and
okay.
we were here in Allentown to visit in-laws by marriage.
Okay.
Some of his cousins.
Okay, sure.
And
sure.
we were over to Cathedral Church of the Nativity up the top on the way to St. Luke's, I guess. That's where I was born.
Okay, okay.
And Cathedral's where I was married.
Uh-huh.
And we were in there taking pictures. And then we saw
the
this,
blast
and
furnace.
I said, I'll take you down. I don't know how close we can get. And obviously we got very close. Sure enough. Sure enough.
Well, I'm glad you got some pictures. You're not supposed to drive through here because